So I saw a video on the internet that got me to thinking about idioms and common phrases and sayings in English and how some of them just don't make any damn sense whatsoever. And so I thought I would take a few minutes and look at some of those. Once again with the internet, fantastic tool. I suggest you look into it. So looked at some of those I didn't think made sense, and now I'm just going to talk about them for you for a couple minutes. And if you enjoy that, I'm really glad because I feel like we've bonded in the last 20 seconds since you got here. Anywho, let's talk about them. The first phrase, or idiom, rather, that I really don't care for is, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Now, I don't know entirely what that's supposed to mean, but let's break it down. Like, I assume what they're trying to say is, it's better to have that one bird in your hand than you have your bird, as opposed to having the two birds that you don't own in that bush. But my question is, why do you want this bird in your hand? What's the next step? What's the procedure from there? If given the opportunity, and someone said to me right now, sitting in my apartment, Taylor, we can magically put a bird in your hand, or we can just leave those two birds outside in the bush. I'm going to be like, 100% of the time, I'm going to say, yeah, you just keep those birds out there in the bush. I really have no interest in having a bird in here. That'd be out of my... if you did bring a bird in here, it'd probably start flapping around. I might get startled and let it go, and then I'd have a huge scenario that I have to deal with. I just don't think that makes much sense. Are you going to be eating the birds and killing them? Why? Why do you do it then? This is 2012. I'll just go down and get some poultry from the store. I don't know where the hell this nasty rat avian bird has been. I don't know where it's been. It could have diseases. I'm not going to take that risk and just kill it in my hand like some barbarian, then cook it up in my kitchen. That's nonsense. That's foolishness. Anyone who would do that is silly. So I would much rather 100% of the time leave the birds out in the bush and then, just not have to deal with that. It could have diseases. It's not safe. So, yeah, that one's stupid. Doesn't make sense. Next one, another one about birds, strangely enough, and two birds. What do you know about that? Killing two birds with one stone. All right? Now, this is really common. Everybody's heard this one. Now, my first issue with this is, obviously the goal is you're trying to kill both of these birds with the one stone, okay? But your first problem is you're using a stone, man. Like, if the goal is to kill the birds, you don't have to use a stone. You don't have to use a rock. You can grab something else. There are a lot easier ways to kill birds than with rocks. Like, that's the first issue. Is if you're looking at this problem and you're saying I got to kill both of these birds with a rock, that's not going to work. That's like me saying I got to study for my chemistry and my biology test by really boning up on my accounting knowledge. It doesn't make sense. It's like an 0 for 2 on that. So that's a fail there. You should not be using a stone. That's the first issue. And anyone could see that. Seriously? Like, come on. And the second thing is, they make you picture it like you have to have this giant boulder above your head and then come down crushing these birds. Why do you have to do that? You could conceivably use the same stone 2 different times to kill 2 different birds at different times, Like, you don't have to kill them both at the same time. It's not like you're going to use your rock up. The rock's still going to be there, man, which, by the way, still not sure why you're using this rock, but it's still going to be there. And you could go crush the skull of one bird if you're quick and then come back the next day and kill the other one. In fact, that might be better, so then you don't have a dead bird sitting around that you're worried about rotting when you don't eat it. It's silliness to me. It doesn't quite make sense. So hopefully you guys are on the same page with me about this. Maybe I'm not making sense. Maybe this is my niggling little hatred for these kind of things. The next one is, and I never really thought about this until the other day when I heard someone say that some chick's tits were as soft as a baby's bottom, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, tits as soft? Wait, it's a tit? Like, that's a juxtaposition of too many feelings, I think. You can't be using something as innocent and, young as a baby's butt to compare to, like, the sexual thrill of a breast. Like, that's pretty messed up. That's like saying, man, if I were in a horny mood and someone blindfolded me and they told me I was about to grab a tit and then they presented me a ripe baby ass and I grabbed it, you would totally be like, oh, yeah, that's a nice boob. But no, you'd be grabbing a baby ass. You sick fuck. That's disgusting. Why would you even make that comparison, It's not good. It's fine if you're talking about something else, but even then, why compare it to a baby's butt? There's so many soft things in this world. Why relegate it to something as phenomenally awkward and just not appealing as a baby's butt, Yeah, that's fine. There are a lot of soft things in this world, like babies' butts. That doesn't necessarily mean I want to touch them. I'm sure there are lots of really scary animals out there that are soft as shit, really soft animals. I don't want to go play with them either. Just because it's soft doesn't mean it's a good thing. I think we really need to reevaluate the gauge by which we measure the smoothness of something, especially in the sexual realm. We can't be comparing sexual things to babies' asses. It's just inappropriate, I think, but if I do run for president ever, that will be my central position, just so you know. I am against comparing those things. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I guess that's the end of the video. Love you.